Welcome everybody to a look at a new 88 films release, and it is 1986's Legacy of Rage. So this is directed by Ronnie Yu, who had quite a weird filmography, to be honest. Before this, there was The Postman Strikes Back, which is kind of similar in terms of being a Hong Kong action film. But then he moves on to the likes of Bride of Chucky, The 51st State, which has one of the weirder casting choices, then Freddy vs. Jason, and finally, in terms of the ones I've seen, Fearless, which is, for my money, his best film. So this is a Hong Kong action film, clocking in at 86 minutes long, stars Brandon Lee, who unfortunately I've only seen one other film from, in the form of The Crow. That celebrated its 30th anniversary this year. And also stars Michael Wong, who was in the likes of Royal Warriors, In the Line of Duty 4, and Tiger Cage 3. So Brandon Ma is a regular working Joe who holds down two jobs so he can support his girlfriend May and his dream of owning a motorcycle. Brandon's best friend is Michael, an ambitious and murderous dope peddler. Michael covets May, and so he comes up with a plan that will win her for him and solves a problem as he's been having. It seems that an undercover cop named Sharky has been using his police connections to dominate the local cocaine trade, so Michael has him killed and uses Brandon as the fall guy. Brandon then subsequently goes to jail, though he thinks that he will be released soon thanks to the efforts of his good buddy Michael. 8 years later, however, Brandon finally gets out of jail and vows revenge. So, yeah, a little bit of plot spoilery there, but you really do have to explain a substantial amount of this plot because even though this is perhaps not as action orientated as I expected, it is nonetheless does have an excellent final act that is action packed, which makes a largely character based plot, which I've just explained, all the more satisfying. The cast is also good. I really rather like the score. It is well paced, has solid production value, it is overall engrossing, and the action scenes are excellent, especially when it comes to the final one with its vehicular destruction, gunfights, plenty of violence, and well executed hand to hand combat. So, yeah, I can imagine some people being a bit frustrated with this because, like I said, the majority of the plot is, focused on the characterization, especially between these two best friends, and the ultimate events that happen after the start of the film. But as far as I'm concerned, that characterization is not only satisfying, but it also ends in a satisfying manner with the spectacular final action scene, which is really really well done, and properly fun, and really really well done in its own right in terms of the violence and the cinematography and the choreography and all of that. So overall a solid film, 4 out of 5 as far as I'm concerned. I really like the new artwork that it has on the go, which has been done by uh, Sean Longmore, which is cool, and it's a nice hard box as well. Surprised they've gone to such lengths with this film to give it a nice hard box, but I'm glad they have because it always makes it feel a little bit more special. Then we get the same artwork on the disc case, printed disc, and then we get reversible sleeve artwork as well. Oops, try and get that back in. I do like the reversible art sleeve work as well, to be honest. And typically, if I get a hard box or a slipcover or something like that with the new artwork on, I will swap around the disc sleeve artwork as well. So yeah, which I'll definitely do. We also get a booklet with this, which has been a little bit damaged, unfortunately, but it's fine. Can't be helped with these releases where the booklet generally slides around quite a bit. So inside here we've got Shadow of the Dragon, Brandon Lee and the Burden of Legacy by David West. So this was somewhat marketed to take advantage of Brandon Lee's father, Bruce Lee, and yeah, you can definitely see that in some regards in terms of the film as well. And then you got Legacy of Bruceploitation, Brandon Lee and the Hong Kong Connection by Paul Bramhall. This was actually the only Hong Kong film that Brandon Lee actually ever did, maybe to set himself apart from his father's work. But yeah, that's a little bit of a shame because obviously he is really, really rather good in terms of the action scenes, and Hong Kong action scenes are generally some of the best from the 80s. So yeah, it's a shame that he didn't go on to do more with such directors and action choreographers. And then we've also got a really rather nicely done poster as well, which has the new artwork on it. and the reversible artwork that we've already seen on the other slipcover, which at the top says 1971, Bruce Lee shut the world, 1987, Brandon Lee continues the legend. So, yeah, again, trying to capitalize on his father's legacy there. Even the title, I guess you could say, is somewhat trying to ape on that with Legacy of Rage. And then on the disc itself, we've got a HD 1080p Blu-ray presentation in original 185:1 aspect ratio, 2.0 Cantonese mono, 2.0 English mono, newly translated optional English subtitles, audio commentary by Frank Jeng and Ronnie Yu. Got Fat Samurai Ronnie Yu interview. Then Hector Martinez presents the world of Brandon Lee. Archival interview with the director Ronnie Yu. English opening and closing sequences, Hong Kong trailer, export trailer, and the Tai Seng trailer, as well as stills gallery, as well as all of the new artwork that I've shown off already. So, yeah, a pretty comprehensive release in terms of all the physical extras, hard box, poster, booklet, a fair decent amount of extras on the disc as well itself. The presentation of the film in terms of picture quality and sound is also fairly good. It's obviously spectacular or anything like that, but it does the job, and there is no nothing egregious about it, nothing that stands out that is particularly poor. So, yeah, on the whole, a fairly solid film. I am surprised it's rated an 18 because at the end of the day, even though there's a fair decent amount of violence in the final act, it's nowhere near as extreme as we have seen from other films like Righting Wrongs, for instance, which I feel is even more violent than this, and that has the same rating. But still, overall, a solid film in its own right, and yeah, definitely one of my more favourite films from the Hong Kong action genre that might well be a little bit more unknown because I certainly hadn't heard of it before. Um, Certainly doesn't star anyone like Jackie Chan or Cynthia Rothrock or Michelle Yeoh, for instance, to give it that extra bit of star power. But Brandon Lee obviously would go on to do bigger and better things in his short film career, and yeah, this is a fairly solid start to that short career. But nonetheless, if you have seen the film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.